G'day, guys. Take 417 of episode 3 of The Form. I'm Brendan. That's Mick.
What's going on, Boof?
Trying to stutter again this time, will you, big fella? Great opening weekend in operation, isn't it?
Mate, started off with an absolute bang. So both best bets for the Friday getting home. Eels basically won that game by half time. So the best bet, Eels -6, getting home strongly, backed up by the Dragons plus 22.5. So it's really good to go back to back there. That game a bit sketchy in the second half. As we know, the Eagles are a big second half team. They like to pile on the points when they get on a roll. Managed to hold them off. So no, good to go 2-2, especially for two unit plays. Going into Saturday was a different story, wasn't it, Bren?
Just probably just wipe that one out of the old memory bank, shall we?
Yeah. No, we just like to make things interesting. So with the Raiders and Sharkies, that under 49.5. So hopefully not too many TVs were smashed in that last 30 seconds when old mate coughed up his lollies and they took it over by a couple of points on us. But it's a loss. You've got to take the losses with the wins. This is the business that we're in, I guess. They're moving on to the Knights and Storm game. Well, that game was over in the first 10 minutes. I'll never back against the Storm line, no matter who they're putting on the park. Knights, Ponga or no Ponga, they were never in that game. That was a bad beat for us. So, look, apologies there, but we like to put the pressure on us when we're down, I guess. So going into Sunday was a good start. We bagged the under 48.5 from the Panthers and Warriors. A slow second half really helped us out there. And then another best bet home. So all three best bet homes, two unit plays. So the Tigers, again, that apprentice, whoever set that line at Tigers plus 3.5, he's going to be looking for work for a very long time. They covered with ease on that game. So a very pleasing result. Unfortunately, we couldn't cap out the weekend the way we wanted to with the Souths and Dogs under going over by a couple of points. Again, another couple of late tries screwed that one over for us. But a profitable week. Nonetheless, so profiting 4 units. So if you're a $50 punter, you'd have $200 cash out of all that. So always good to win. 60% basically we hit. Our target's always to hit over 55. So smash at home.
Cash money, especially that 3 from 3 from the 2 unit best bets. Unbelievable. We've got them all home, and the emphasis of sniping early. That definitely helped us in this case. So. Great first week, but that's the history now. So we've got more money to make next week. We'll have a quick look at round 19's matchups. But before we do, Mick, how's that those same game multis going on the Russian volleyball for you, mate?
Let me just look at this screen in Lockdown Vegas. They're still running, buddy. Mate, don't swear at me, honestly. Same game multis. That's up your alley, buddy.
Mate, especially after all those bonus bets from Sportsbet coming through since they got hacked over the weekend or whatever they're claiming happened.
I haven't had a bonus bet in about 6 years, so hopefully that's a good thing.
All right, well, moving on to Thursday, the 22nd of July, the Eels taking on the Raiders. So what are we thinking here, Mick?
Eels get the limelight again, and they also get the limelight on our card to start off. So the books open up the Eels at -12.5 point favourites with a total of 49.5. Our numbers have Eels winning this easily by 21 or more points, with our total set at 44. So we've got 2 edges here straight off the bat, which is interesting. So we're going to take the Eels -12.5 against the spluttering Raiders, and we're also going to put a unit on the under 49.5. So 1 unit plays on each. Do not multi them. This is separating your units and putting a unit on each play. So Eels -12.5 and the under 49.5, 2 separate bets.
2 bets in the one game. Should make for an interesting night. Moving on to Friday, 6 o'clock time slot. The Roosters take on the Knights.
Yeah, can't see a lot of edge here with this one. Again, Knights are definitely on the do not bet list for the next 4 or 5 seasons. Once we get over that loss from last week. Our numbers have Roosters winning this by 6 or more, with our total at 44. The books open the Roosters at -10.5, with a total of 49.5. Again, the Roosters are a public team. I can see that blowing out as it did last week. Just not enough edge for us to take anything here. If it does blow out, still not enough for me to ever put money on the Knights again.
Should be an interesting game, though. I think the Saifidi, Daniel Saifedi's named to finally come back into the side as well as James Tedesco. So two very big important ins for both of those sides. So should make for a decent game, but
I guess the only thing we're going to watch there, sorry, Brent, is the under. I've got a 5-point variance on the under now. If that pushes out to about 50, that quite possibly might make our card.
Let's just hope both those teams hit the tackling bags over the week. The 8 o'clock time slot on Friday night, the Cowboys take on the Storm.
Storm got opened up, always sitting at double digits. So it's very hard for them to cover lines, but they still do it with ease. So Storm minus 24.5, the book set them at, with a total of 52.5. We've got Storm winning this by 22 or more points with a total of 49.5. So not enough edge for us to make a play on this at all. So we'll be staying off this one.
Discipline, he reckons.
They're onto our numbers, it looks like.
Must be we're doing something right, aren't we? Hopefully. Saturday, 3 o'clock game. Rabbits take on the Warriors.
Okay, so books open up Souths at minus 15.5 with a total of 50.5. We've got the Bunnies winning this by 13 or more. Our total's set at 47. Again, not enough variance for us to get involved at this stage.
Definitely some bigger, valiant effort from the Warriors yesterday against the Panthers. 4 players out, 13 players. That was all they had for the second half. So 13 healthy players. So big minutes from their front row. So who knows what type of effect that's going to have. Not diving too deep into the analysis side of things, but Tohu Harris out for the rest of the year with an ACL injury. Wade Egan out with a shoulder injury. RTS, if he backs up from his head knock. And Rocco Berry's done his hammy. So that's another 2 to 3 weeks out for him. So it's going to be a bit of a mix and match side put out there by the Warriors. So, yeah, that's definitely one just to keep an eye on. The 5:30 game, Sea Eagles take on the Tigers.
Be interesting to see if the Tigers can keep the momentum going, especially they're going to be in the press quite a lot this week with their documentary coming out tonight. So look, it looked like they turned the corner, but again, that's against the Broncos. So from a numbers perspective, Eagles got opened up at big favourites, minus 16.5 by the books, with a total of 51.5. Our numbers have Eagles winning this by 10 or more, with a total of 50. Look, if I had to have a lean, I guess that 16.5 will blow out. I wouldn't take the Tigers less than 3 converted tries head start. So another sit and watch for us to see where this line does go before we get involved. But it will be on the Tigers if that goes above 18 or more.
Definitely probably wait a few more days until kick-off, see where the market goes. Yeah, if it does go over that 3 converted try mark, definitely worth a thought. But with Tommy Turbo back for the Sea Eagles and Daly Cherry Evans as well, 2 massive ins for the Sea Eagles. So, yeah, unsure if that'll be on the bet card for this round. Final game on the Saturday triple header, Penrith take on Brisbane.
Your Cats versus my Ponies, going in totally different directions. So the books open up the Panthers as expected, minus 16.5 with a total of 50.5. So they reckon there's going to be a fair few points in this game. Look, again, we didn't take the Panthers line last week because that data is built on Cleary and Luai being in that side for the majority of the season, but they covered with ease. So we've got the Panthers to win this by 3 tries, by 18 or more, with a total of 44. So the real variance is sitting with the total on the under. So I've got 6 points to play with there. So that's actually made our card, Broncos Panthers under 50.5.
Under 50.5. It is reported that Jerome Luai could be a late inclusion to the Penrith side this weekend, coming back from knee injury. However, Nathan Cleary's still a few weeks out.
Well, hopefully he doesn't score any points there.
Yeah, that could definitely play a part. All right, moving on to the Sunday card. First up, 150 time slot, Dragons take on the Titans.
Yes, so the books open up the Titans at minus 6.5 with a total of 50.5. Our numbers basically dead on with the books. So we've got Titans by 5 or more. So no edge on the line. Our total's 47. So I've only got 2 and a bit points to play with on the total. So one that we will not be getting involved with anytime soon.
Definitely emphasis on the discipline there. With all our tips, we're not going to give out such a broad array of tips every week. Some weeks there might be a lot of variance on all games. Some weeks there might not be any variance on almost all of the games. So
yeah, it's a good point. We're not going to manufacture a bet if we don't have to. We're only going to back where the greatest variance in our numbers and the bookmakers' numbers are.
And that's how we find value, and that's how we beat the books long term. Massive on the discipline. Okay, the last game to round out the round 19 is the Bulldogs take on the Sharks.
This is going to be an entertaining watch. Absolutely not. But look, it's probably not the way you want to cap out a weekend with a game like this. But it's our job to find some value in it to make it more interesting, I guess. So, look, the books opened up the Sharks at minus 12.5 favourites with a total at 49.5. Our numbers are the Sharks winning this by 14 or more. But the value is on the total on the under. Our points came at 43. So again, 6.5 point variance there. So that will definitely make our card. So under 49.5 for that game for us.
Let's just hope Lachlan Lewis doesn't think he's Conor McGregor again and try and take down any of the Sharks players at halftime, maybe.
It was the only tackle that he made the whole game. Effective tackle.
Matt, I can't talk. I was still jealous. That was more tackles than I've ever made in my career. So, yeah, real glorified halfback there. And I think that petition for him to get re-signed by the Bulldogs has just been torn up by all the members and supporters. So that rounds out our round 19 card. Let's just go through those bets again, Mick. So the first one was the two plays on the Eels and Raiders game.
So, yeah, 2 1-unit plays. Eels minus 12.5. You can get that at even money with Ladbrokes currently. Again, guys, you got to shop around because early in the week, there's not a lot of offers from the bookmakers. A lot of them post lines, but totals come out later. So just have a look around. But the best value will be on the Friday night games with Ladbrokes normally. Then we're going to put another unit on the Eels Raiders under 49.5. Now, I'd never like backing a blowout by one team and backing an under. It'll makes you stress the whole game, but that's where the numbers are pointing us and we're going to trust them. So then we're going to move on to the Panthers and Broncos under 50.5. Again, you can get that with Ladbrokes at $1.90. Sportsbetter is basically sitting around the same. Just watch it if it gets juiced. I'd say they normally do the unders instead of moving. They normally go down to say $1.87 or $1.85. So just try and get the most value because in the long run, that's going to equate to more ROI going forward. And then the Bulldogs and the Sharks, we're going to take another under 49.5. Again, you can get that with Ladbrokes and Sportsbet. 365 is still to post any totals.
There you have it, folks. There are our plays for round 19. You can find, we're going to post them on our Twitter and Instagram account. So please give us a follow on both those at The Form Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. And we'll keep you up to date with any late mail that hits our desk, and also post all our bets there as well. And please also subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Form Podcast, which is where we're going to be posting this very video. So thank you for tuning in. And just a quick shout out to all of our friends in lockdown in Sydney at the moment. We hope you're doing well. We hope you're staying safe. Especially shout out to all our tradie mates out there who've just been postponed for the next 2 weeks whilst in lockdown. So we're thinking of you all. And we hope we all get back on our feet very shortly, and this lockdown is in the rearview mirror very quickly. So thanks again, guys, and we'll catch you hopefully later in the week with a market update. Until then, stay safe and, yeah, talk soon.
Best of luck, guys.